Yes. Yes. Like, how is this confusing to you? Birthright citizenship already guaranteed in the 14th Amendment. And Article 5 of the Constitution explains how you add and remove amendments. And it's not an executive order. It's a really long, drawn-out process that has to be done by Congress. So if Donald Trump says, well, I can just declare a amendment to the Constitution null, and the Constitution says that's not how you nullify an amendment, and the Supreme Court says, yep, he can do that, then yes, the Supreme Court is also in contempt of the Constitution. I don't understand how this is still going over your head. Up for interpretation isn't the same thing as saying no words mean anything. Interpreting things has rules. If a past Supreme Court or federal court or anybody said we're going to interpret this sentence in this way, and you want to change the interpretation, but you don't have a reason besides, well, I'm in power now, then you are an anti-constitutionalist, literally. I feel like Americans in general, left and right-leaning Americans, have it in their brain that, like, presidents are just dictators. They just, like, it's 4 years, and the guy gets elected and he has 4 years of, like, supreme absolute power. And then a new guy shows up and has supreme absolute power. The whole point of the Constitution is it takes all of the powers of the government and divides it up amongst a lot of different people. It precisely for this reason, because everybody who wrote it had just spent their entire lives and a lot of pain and treasure and blood killing kings. And I don't want those kings coming back, but you're fine with it. I don't know what to tell you here, man. Interpretation doesn't mean I just get to make up whatever I want because it's convenient for me right now. Interpretation has rules. You want to change an interpretation, but you don't have a reason? You can do that, but everyone's going to hate your guts. Like in the reality that you live in, why even bother having a constitution at all then? If just everything is based off of presidential edicts, the guy in power gets to be the king. Why even bother having a constitution? The whole point of constitutions, a lot of countries have them, the whole point of them is saying, like, here are the ground rules. Here are the house rules. Here are the rules of the game. You're going to play the game however you want, but these are the rules that we're all going to agree to and stick to. And as soon as you start violating those rules, you are no longer participating in the country. And people are going to be mad at you when you do that. But you're also making this claim that his base would abandon him if he violated the Constitution. We're never going to get to that point because he violates the Constitution and you guys will just have an excuse. You can't see it. You will never see it or admit it. Right? Article 2, Section 2. Congress is the only people who got authority to create departments. Doge, unconstitutional. Dissolving the Department of Education, unconstitutional, unless Congress approves. The end. There's no if, and, or buts here. Like every single department ever created by this country has been by Congress, not by a president. Impounding USAID money, or federal money at all. Like Article 1, Section 7, 8, 9, probably more than I'm not remembering. It says right there in black and white, only Congress has the ability to spend money. We already got Impoundment Act back in 74. So recently, the Supreme Court has affirmed, whatever. Presidents can't impound appropriated money. After Congress says we're going to spend this money, it's the job of the president to go spend the money. So it's not, there's no wiggle room here. Impounding USAID's budget, unconstitutional. Creating Doge, unconstitutional. Dissolving the Department of Education, unconstitutional. Trying to revoke the 14th Amendment through an executive order, unconstitutional. Creating a scam of fake electors to get yourself elected president, unconstitutional. But you will never say, you'll never say that. You'll never admit it. You can't see it. You are blind to it. So this idea that like Trump would lose support amongst his base, maybe it's true. I don't know. But it'll never happen because for you guys, in the reality that you are living in, he cannot violate the Constitution. Everything he says just goes. He's taken over your mind. It's a cult. He's a dictator. You've accepted him as a dictator. You're already doing exactly what I said you'd do. Excuses, excuses, excuses. I mean, I'll be honest, this is just, at this point in my life, this is just boring. This is the same shit that I've been hearing from people like you since I was in high school. It was wrong then, it's wrong now. Like, you just gotta grow up. This is boring. It's a waste of my time.